Tell me you'd like it posted, so I can send it on email. All right. No.
One that fantastic of it, the fact to be in the arena is one of the stars of the show. On the top of it was the first music roller dating from 1884. Oldest today, and indeed it is the second oldest operable steam roller in the world. So quite a notable feat.
They all got it.
See you later.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's been
Are these handmade?
Oh, TikTok, South Yorkshire.
Are these handmade?
No, these are working machines. Before they got crashed. These ones. Different things that's attracting anything. The others are
what it said. Capsule. Wow, look at this one. This has got some power. That's got some power. Size of it. Absolutely. Steam lorry.
Speed 12 mile an hour. With
Oh,
the
yeah.
trailer on 5
Yeah.
mile an hour. Oh, that's slow. Oh, you can get far, yeah.
How much is that?
It says
12
it's
without.
Speed 12 miles per hour. With trailer 5 miles
So
per
that
hour.
can do 12 miles an hour.
That's the full speed.
Yeah, but, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think that. Oh, look at it.
That one was not good.
It's a steam lorry, that.
Yeah, but that one was fast.
They will. Well, not fast, but... Gordon, though.
Is this Ford?
Gordon.
A huge thank you to all our large team exhibitors, owners, drivers and operators, and also to Derek for giving us the information on those vehicles. What a fantastic
Put on the trailer.
No, this is...
Look how much he's pulling.
fantastic road trailers just leaving the arena right now. Over the next few minutes, we actually
Red
welcome
Dog.
commercial vehicles into the arena. There we go.
It's a tank. It's a tank, like an air tank or a...
I bet that's a powerful strike.
That is powerful.
Richard, if you can have the road, please, give them a wave.
It's only got 3. 1, 2.
Oh, sorry, 1, 2, 3 trailers.
3 trailers, yeah.
Yeah, I've got counted.
This is where they're sleeping.
This is a Ford.
Yeah. Forden. Can you see it going round?
I think, does it drop from the other end?
Yeah, we can open it. We'll open it up.
Brittany, I think he dropped from the other end. We've got our own car.
Really great to be here. Happy expecting you. So going into orange lines now, a Japanese bike, a little Honda. Tell us about this. It's an 1971 American called the CT7. The British Honda is the S. That's the American one. And it is so it did actually go from Japan to America and then to the UK. It didn't, it wasn't destined to America and never got that. Oh no, it's from America. So I would feel quite proud of the American vehicle sat on this. Did it certainly not look about? Oh yeah, certainly, this falls down, doesn't it? What the you kind of about fall down, you can just put it in the loop of the old people's residential. It's got good, that's good. I'm not quite sure.
In World War I to France, and at that particular stage, earlier in the year, in the war, they were the beating of the Germans, if I could put it like that. Time, of course, has moved on, but Fosters chose to commemorate their achievement by introducing a miniature tank on the front of their engines after that. This is one that perhaps didn't have one originally, because it was built just after the First World War, but certainly it does have one on now to commemorate the fact that Fosters were involved in winning the First World War, if I can put it like that. Lincoln was a location which actually had quite a large number of traction engine builders. There was also Clayton and Shuttleworths, as well as Fosters, and also Ruston and Hornsby, to name but two, in addition to Fosters, of course. The engine is called Spring. It belonged to John Bosworth, who I knew very well until he passed away in recent times. It's now been driven by Tipper, and he will make a circuit of the arena before locating the engine in a lineup which will be joined by many other engines during the course of this afternoon. Heading into the arena at the top end now is a barrel roller. Barrels were agricultural engineers that turned their hands to manufacturing steam engines. Not only did they build steam rollers, they also built traction engines, they built showman's engines and steam wagons. I believe there's only one steam wagon left in the UK that was manufactured by Burroughs at Thetford. That's still in the course of resurrection, if I can put it like that, because these things are very, very rare. The barrel roller is actually owned by Malcolm Woodburn, and it was manufactured in 1904, so it's quite an old roller from that point of view. It was owned in working life by Isaac Balls at Walls near Blackpool, and there is another barrel roller also on the field today, which will be coming along in a short while. It's been overtaken at the moment by Rob Tyler, who is driving a Fowler steam tractor, somewhere about 4 horsepower, compared with big traction engines who are 8 horsepower and some 10. The little Foster tractor was used in commercial use by the people like Market Glasby, which was Thomas Turbine, and for the market. also to meet the regulations that were brought in around then. I remember seeing this one some little while ago now at Heckington in Lincolnshire. It was in an auction sale. And I believe it was Rob that bought it at the auction sale. There were several parts of the description of products from the auction sale. And Rob was very kindly taken it upon himself to remanufacture, put together those parts and make the engine that you see here today. It was made in 1919, just after the First World War. It has a Leeds registration, as was the launch in those days. Leeds was a location with 5 major road steam engine builders. And it's quite possible that more steam engineers were used but that is open to question by someone who probably knows a little bit more about both sides of the fence than I do. As you can see, the speed of the little Fowler side tractor is far in excess of what the vehicles are on the arena at the moment. The large engine on the far side of the field, which is being done by Sparky, was actually a Fowler, again a Fowler, a ploughing engine. Ploughing engines were manufactured by Fowlers and other manufacturers, such as McLaren's of Leeds, and they were an invention in the mid-1800s, when I say mid-1800s, 1850s, 1860s, inaugurated the double-engine ploughing system, where one engine was on one side of the field and 500 yards away on the other side of the field was another similar engine, left hand and right hand, and using the wire rope drum underneath the boiler, they were able to pull a balance plough from one side of the field to the other. Using a method of whistles, they communicated with each other. So when the engine ploughs out of the field and pull the plough together to itself, it whistled and they turn the balance plough this way up, and it then pull the balance plough towards itself, and it continued by mechanised agriculture, invented by John Fowler in Leeds, throughout the rest of the century and later. Fowler's exported this type of engine not only to the USA for sugar and also for cotton cultivation, but also to Egypt for the same purposes. No cotton in Egypt, of course, because that's where we know that cotton comes from, and also on a number of them when it's called India, and also to Australia. British colonies were an ideal location for development of the colony using steam traction engines and agricultural machinery, because they needed that type of equipment to make their mark in the location they were. That's what the commentary finds now, behind the Fowler ploughing engine. That particular Fowler ploughing engine is actually numbered 14375, and it was built in 1917. We're here thinking an aerial torque roller owned by Simon and Louise Gill. As its name on the canopy side says, sorry, it's an awning because it's an averling. Averlings call them awnings, other people call them canopies. It's proceeding the other engine on the field, which is owned by Simon and Louise, which is actually a Fowler, originally a steamroller, owned by Harold Bonnet, who was the founder of the Steam Plough Club in 1963. The Fowler was manufactured in 1929, and Airling was which was manufactured by Airling after the First World War, because that particular type of design was a lot easier to make and quicker to make than the previous slide valve rollers, which are are also exhibited here on the rally field today. The jump power on the caliphate indicates that it was manufactured in the front very nicely. The cover dial around the front, but it can be used now for lighting of freezing, and also on the sides of the canopy itself. The Evelyn and Georgia steam tractor, passing the temperature point at the moment, is also a steamroller. It's owned by Derek Webb of Tickhill, and it is being driven on his behalf now by Matt Cobb, assisted ably by James Hodgson, although neither of the two young ladies on the engine there are actually James Hodgson. That Cobb is in charge of the engine, and one of the steamroller, mounted Scotland, and the Scottish registration OS 803. It was made in 1912. And I've seen a photograph of it in Kent in early 1950s with a steamroller front end. The next Evelyn import to roller is called Zero Bay. It's registered in Bournemouth, and it was owned by a corporation down in Bournemouth a long time ago now. It's in preservation at the moment, of course, and it was a recent purchase by Sam Jackson, who lives not very far away from here, at Wickwell, manufactured in 1923. The Burrell roller that's just gone past, the Burrell Showman's engine roller which has just gone past, is actually owned by Isaac Elston. It's called Outlaw. Made in 1910, and it says Ian Hutchinson on the sideboard. Driven yesterday by Kevin Gray, who I met a long time ago when I went to see his father in Sunderland. Kevin at that time was a professional footballer and played for Carlisle United. My reflection, built in 1916. It's a compound machine in that one, so it has two cylinders, a large cylinder and a small cylinder, which is more economical than just a single cylinder. The Evelyn roller, the room was all the lips actually got in Staffordshire. The little Evelyn tractor which follows on is one of these machines which is a bit like Cinderella, I suppose, in some respects. It was squirreled away something like 40 years ago, and has only recently, within the last 2 or 3 years, been able to be purchased by Andrew Baines, and it's been resurrected today, or this 2 or 3 years since, to actually appear on the rally field at the moment. A bit like, shall we say, the Sleeping Beauty from that point of view. Somewhat rare, and some of the original paintwork I believe is still on it, but it's been prettied up a bit to make it presentable for exhibition here at the moment. The green roller which is following on that Evelyn tractor is actually owned by David Hare from near Bradford. It was supplied to Northampton Rural District Council in 1916, and David got it appointed a couple of years now. It passed eventually to North Riding County Council, and it's in whose custodianship it was registered PN, which is North Riding 2370. Following on from the Evelyn roller is another Isaac Ball, a roller near Blackpool. The roller owned by Charlie Coffey, and being looked after today on his behalf Alan, and crewed also by Ronnie. This category is such that it's all written down in front of it. The machines are coming in not necessarily order that I've got them written down here, and so I've got to run up and down with my finger on the piece of paper which tends to be looking to be thrown away, and look at some of the information relating to these machines. The 8-barrel roller has been followed by a Fowler small traction engine, owned by Peter Green. It was built in 1899, so it's quite an old machine from that point of view. The TA registration on the macular indicates to me that it was worked in Devon at one time, because Devon has TA as a registration. And Peter has another engine on the field at the moment, but before that comes Bob Siddall's daughter's father, Rob Siddall, Babcock and Wilcox steamroller. The Babcock and Wilcox steamrollers were built under that name by Clayton Shuttleworth, because Clayton Shuttleworth actually proposed Babcock and Wilcox during the course of the late 1920s, and consequently a bit of an anachronism, but that is one steamroller that was delivered from Lincoln, Clayton Shuttleworth and Lincoln, to Somerset in the ownership of W.W. Bunton and Sons, well-known rolling contractors in that area. The Garrett tractor following on from the Buxted Old roller was actually Garrett number. 1958 versus 1918, just after the First World War. That wasn't shown as ownership, as you can read on the canopy. Fred Harris's electrifying new Dodges. Then followed a couple of Evelyn rollers, the first one being an 1884 Evelyn roller, the oldest machine on the field today, and indeed, as I believe, the oldest roller which is in circulation today, which is still operating. Number 2021, there is an older roller in the UK, which is number 2018, the difference being 36 days. That's been followed on by a 1915 Evelyn roller, which is the Lamaster Woodford very rare now, speaking to you at the moment, and I live in Europe. It's been done by my old friend and colleague Andrew, who's on the helm, and it was supplied originally into Wiltshire and passed through various owners until it came into the West Riding of Yorkshire at wholesale in about 1939. It was purchased for preservation by the White Rose Steam Traction Company in 1964, and so this year, 2024, we are celebrating 60 years of my being involved with the ownership of that particular roller, which is quite a long time in circumstances where we are today. Following on from that 1915 Evelyn roller is a Sentinel steam wagon, one of two steam wagons on the field today. It's actually built in Shrewsbury, in Shropshire, and being driven today by Patrick Tonks on behalf of the owner, Mark Allen, who lives somewhere up in the north of Aberdeen. So it's a long way from home at the moment. It was brought down here for a reason, and it was actually owned at one time, as you will read on the front, owned by George Senior Insurance out of Sheffield. So it worked very locally to where we are at the moment, and hence it's got a WE Sheffield registration, and the name of the owners is actually now painted on the front of the machine. It was held in preservation first of all by the Captain River, owned in preservation it together again, and it's tribute to Harold that it is on the Rally Field today, in different ownership of course, because Harold went on to purchase a steam car that's much easier to operate and drive than a Sentinel, and it was more fitting for people of an older generation, shall we say. Behind the Sentinel steam wagon with its vertical boiler is another flying engine owned by the Flair family, who owned the other one that we just passed a while or two ago. This particular one is called Ephraim, after the elder gentleman of the Flair family, who was represented here until he unfortunately passed away a few years ago, and it's brought today and owned and operated by the Flair family. I know this particular engine was actually in 1886, maybe 1915, and then during the First World War. The late man pointed out how I could tell the difference between the two. There's not much difference, but this particular example has a brass chimney cap, and the other one, which is on the field earlier, doesn't have a brass chimney cap. So I feel very humbled to be able to tell you that today. Another machine, another Marshall. Interesting combination of two Wings engines today on the rally field, and that is going to be commemorated in a short while by a photo lineup at the top of the arena. And see, Patrick Thomas has decided to break ranks and join the arena.
What's this?
One of the problems is, there we go, with a whistle. Yes. And of course, I should have warned you that the whistles tend to be somewhat loud, and small children tend to be annoyed when they actually hear them, but I don't think we've had any major problems in that respect at the moment. So now, a steamroller that is volunteered by the engine crew concerned, but it is also a fundraising exercise on the help of Sheffield Steam, the donations of which will go to charity in due course, which was to feature next weekend, is no longer on the calendar because of ground conditions. But the will be registered on the
Let's go and see.
As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we're now clearing the arena, so there will be a slight delay in respect of classic cars coming into the arena. We can't obviously have big steam engines and classic cars moving simultaneously in the arena. We're about to have a major steam engine event in that we're going to do a 50-ton pull using the two X-Wings of Newport engines. Once we get the ploughing engine and Marshall roller out of the arena, and also an enabling roller which is passing the counter point now and being waved at by the young lady, which is passing the right up the of course. She can't know what I'm talking about because she can't hear me because she's under the enabling awning. Patrick, can you wave to me? A little bit of congestion at the rally exit, of course, as inevitable, with slow-moving vehicles, and some needing to go left and some needing to go right, and others needing to reverse into position. So we'll all sort it out in a very short while. And then we should be ready for the 50-ton pull, using a Burrell Showman's engine as it seems at the moment and a Fowler road locomotive. I'm told that these two engines were actually supplied to Robert Wynne's at Newport in South Wales. They are consecutively registered DW2120 and DW2121 1921. They worked together for just 2 years before the leading engine, the Burrell, left the heavy haulage business and joined the showroom fraternity in the ownership of George Rogers. I can read my own writing. So something that has never happened before in preservation, these two engines are actually coupled together, one in front of the other. It's not true that the burrow is actually going to pull the power, although that is what it may seem.
We don't pay a mortgage. The deal is the best for everybody involved. So, hey, come on, just make yourself